This is on wherever the Mentalics are.
Mentalics World.
I forget the name of it. They created these dishes to suppress Mentalics' ability. Let's watch.
You're not really here. See those dishes above your head? They're muzzles, tuned to cancel out your specific psychical pitch.
That's a real bad sign that this planet full of Mentalics, so they're like, oh, we're about love and peace and taking care of each other. But they have these like internally suppressing devices. Mm-hmm. Where if you don't behave in line with the group, like they shove you in this hole and they suppress you. That's a real bad sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, how do these things work?
How do these things work? So somehow the Mentalics have an ability like telepathy, telekinesis, teleprojection, unthinking, etc., etc. They're just overpowered. And they're like, you have a frequency with which your Mentalic abilities work. We're going to suppress that. Like, what?
I think they did something with like those like little like Peruvian pipe things, like like each person has that particular frequency. And so I think that each person has their like sound wave, so to speak, that like resonates well, and that's what if they tune into that frequency, they can project out that power. And so if they have a particular frequency per person, then you find out whatever the noise canceling frequency is for that. You just pump in the anti-wave, and I think that's what this thing is.
That's like when I'm talking, and I talk with a single frequency, and if you have a speaker tuned to that, then I can't speak.
I mean, that's exactly right.
That's exactly right. It's just I have a single frequency. That's
okay. Okay.
15 hertz. Oh, that's too low. What am I doing?
Okay, but this actually is exactly right. I think I did this in the laboratory once, right? If you can actually generate a pure sine wave, I mean, humans, when we speak, there's a bunch of different sine waves. It's very complicated. Mm-hmm. But if you were to actually generate like a purposely single frequency, then when one wave comes in, you just pump in the other wave, and then they cancel each other out. You get a net total of superposition of 0.
Totally on board with the idea of, destructive interference.
Perfect. That's right.
However, like, we have a single frequency. What's the field that's vibrating here? It's not sound, right?
This gets worse the more I think about it. Like, where did they get that tech? That means these people are also tech geniuses, because they didn't hire somebody else. They didn't tell somebody else like, hey, we've got a colony of Mentalics here that know how to do this. Like, they would be exposing themselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they get the technicians or the engineers and scientists in, and then they do the work.
They brain blast them.
Get them in the cult, and then kill them with the unthink.
Put them in that torture drowning chamber thing.
Mm-hmm. And if these things ever break, well, they kill the people that made them, so they don't know how to fix them.
All right, just don't break them.
But my question is, what is vibrating? Because it's not sound, right? They're not doing unthinking with sound, right? They're not doing it with light.
That's right.
Because then you could bring a light sensor nearby and be like, oh,
there's your frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like an amber hue.
So it's some kind of like thought brain field that permeates the universe and heals things and binds things together.
It's the force.
It's the force. It's the force. It's the force.
So these are force jammers. Heck yeah.
They're force jammers. Yep. Which I believe in Heir to the Empire, one of the extended universe things, it's animals can suppress the force. So they have dishes here. They have tech that can do it.
Yeah.
Super weird. Now that I think about it, it is super weird they're able to have the tech.
Yeah,
like, who built it? Who designed it? They'd have to know about Mentalics, how Mentalics work, and then build the devices. Where'd that come from?
I mean, I guess they know how they work, but then they'd have to like translate that sufficiently well to somebody else so they could build the engineering to do this.
That's right. Because people were seeing things with their eyes. People were hearing things with their ears for 100,000 years, and they had no idea what was going on.
That's right. It just works. I know how to talk. But it's not like I could convert that into a microphone and a speaker.
That's right.
The engineering came on much later.
Much later. Like within the past 100 years later.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.